Hi, everybody. We're live. Wow. Say hello to that side is Dean. And next to Dean is Cameron. We're all Brady bunched up in here. And down there, that's Collier. And no, that guy over there, that's Josh. And then Star's way down over there somewhere. Yeah. My camera doesn't reverse. I don't know what to tell you. Say hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello. How do you tell if somebody else is watching?
I don't know how.
I don't know.
Well, I can see a bunch of people in the chat, so of course, you know, everybody. How many Vikings does it take to change a light bulb?
Enough.
What's a light bulb?
Yes.
Yes, we are Bigfooting in review. Top Bigfoots of crap in 2022. Let's see here. I got of course, a top 10 list. The Chicago Tribune told us that the alleged Sasquatch sighting in central Illinois adds to the legacy creature. And that was December of 2021. Alleged Sasquatch sighting in central Illinois. Unlike the image of Sasquatch creature, the man says he spotted northwest Springfield was fast, athletic, and massive. Dean?
Yeah.
Where is Springfield?
That's the capital of Illinois.
And would Bigfoot live in the capital of Illinois?
Though most of Illinois, like most states, actually has very few people in most of the state. They're all in like the cities and stuff. So
I'm going to attest to that. I'm down in the boonies right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're out there by your dad's place?
Yup.
Oh, so look at him. He could be squatching. He could be a squatch for all we know.
Have you ever seen me in the same place as a Bigfoot?
Not yet, but you still owe me a trip out here to California so I can take you to a real squatching. You made it to San Francisco with that weird ass chicken. You didn't even say you were here. You were literally like 40 minutes from my house. I would have I'd have met you at the Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, they were very stupid.
Yeah, I seriously, I'm ready to go. I am so ready to go squatching, but I am stuck here now until March. You poor guys, Josh, you're in Canada. Is that correct?
Can't hear Josh.
Yeah, his audio is what's. You have a pair of headphones plugged into that thing? Starshine and Cameron, you guys are up there as well, right? Up north?
Yup.
Yeah.
We're in Canada.
Yeah.
And when does it, melt enough snow out there that you can get out?
May, June.
May. Yeah.
Yeah.
June.
I can get out through, usually I can get out through Reno in late March. But like the secondary passes, forget it. It absolutely kills us. I was gonna give Josh another chance here. Hopefully his audio is cleared up some. No, the audio didn't clear up any. Okay, no problem. We'll do this.
That was a bummer, man.
Yeah, man. Look, see if you can find a headset laying around in the meantime, because that's all you got to do is just plug a headset into the.
He's not telling you to jerk around.
He might not be able to hear us either. Trying to run digital video and audio for 6 people between Canada and America. I mean, look, America, I got the newest. I literally have like 10 gigabit internet now. I don't even ask for it, and they just keep upping my rate. They're just like, oh, you now have 10 gig. I'm like, okay, I can steal movies from the internet now in like 14 seconds. Entire released digital movies, it takes like 14 to 20 seconds for 4 gigs to just let's watch that. It's insane. It's absolutely, I can upload like an entire MP3 library in 4 minutes. it gets to be crazy. Bigfoot, 2022. Back to it. So no Bigfoot in Springfield, Illinois. You think, huh?
Well, there could be in the areas around it, but right in the middle of the city. No, I've been to Springfield. I should say I drove through Springfield a couple of times. But it's no, you got rivers in the area, some pretty thick forests. There's all sorts of stuff. And once you get further middle of Illinois, further south, you get a lot of hills. It's heavily dissected from not having been scraped off by glaciers.
Ah,
You get a lot more hills and valleys and little canyons and stuff. You know,
well,
you get to southern Illinois, it's like southern Illinois is really wild. A lot of it.
Yep, that's where I am right now.
Southern Illinois.
Yeah, southern Illinois, down in Golconda, right on the Kentucky border.
Yeah, down there. Yeah.
I'm looking for something here. There it is. Wow, there we go. Tahoe Joe. That's right.
There we go.
Tahoe Joe. 2022's best Bigfoot movies. I have not seen Tahoe Joe, so I guess that gives me and Wes something to start with in the end of the month come 2023.
Seen some sneak peeks at their creature. It looks pretty cool.
Does it? Does it? Neat.
Yeah, it looks very chimpanzee-like in the way its face looks.
I hope that's not it.
Definitely not what I saw.
Oh, there's the trailer for it. Tahoe Joe, the official trailer. Oh, I don't know if you can see all that. You can't see any of it.
Nope.
Weird.
Dang.
You can't see that? Really?
No, I could see it.
Oh, what in the world?
No Sasquatch movie's ever going to beat Harry and the Hendersons, and that's my.
Yeah.
Well, they spent $300,000 on the costume, so yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
These kind of movies, they get like $2,500 to throw a costume together.
Just like that one
Maybe.
with it being like almost a
Ooh, there were eyeballs. I saw eyeballs. You going to bed now? Well, I'm on camera here, so probably should just
Tahoe Joe.
We finally found him, guys. Got Bigfoot.
Well, that might be interesting. I mean, Tahoe is literally like right. Yeah, I'm an hour and a half from the lower basin of Tahoe.
So here's my issue with Sasquatch movies
Well, you
nowadays.
can just sit out here and read if you want.
Sorry, I didn't know if Dean was going to say something. I didn't want.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so here's my issue and with Sasquatch in movies now, because these movies are like that, so hokey looking. It just makes the whole serious research and researchers just look like jokers, because people see these movies and think, that's what Sasquatch is and all that, and it really puts us in a bad light when really it's not the researchers themselves. It's just the way that Hollywood portrays, Sasquatch, right? So that's why I say I haven't really, in my opinion, there's good people that have made movies, but in my opinion, the only legitimate looking Sasquatch movie to me was Harry and the Hendersons, because Rick Baker actually, took, the time to actually make a decent looking thing and actually tell a more, I guess, realistic story than this new crap. Like it's just that's what bugs me.
Well, it's all about budget, though. To be fair,
yeah.
I mean, Harry and the Hendersons had like a $3.5 million budget to be made, where Tahoe Joe gets like $27,000. You got to do everything.
I got to put in here with my knowledge of the business. Technically, Hollywood has no portrayal on Bigfoot because last time Hollywood itself touched Bigfoot was with Harry and the Hendersons.
And exactly,
It's mostly independent productions which have no conformed.
And why hasn't Hollywood?
It's very much a Wild West.
Right.
Hollywood wanted, like, you know, quite frankly, I wish they'd come out with a Harry and the Hendersons too. I mean, could you imagine?
They would. It's just that apparently the initial run of Harry and the Hendersons didn't do as well as they wanted to.
No.
Well,
of course, in Hollywood, money speaks.
Right, and we've kind of missed the mark with Bigfoot now. You know, it's kind of over. Pop culture has seen it, absorbed it, digested it, and crapped it back out. I mean, it's literally 10% of what it used to be in the media world. You don't see Bigfoot on your Discovery Channel anymore. You used to. We don't anymore though. Now we're seeing it like once a month. There'll be something on the History
Channel. Now we're
getting
kind of a boom in like Bigfoot movies. I feel.
You know, ancient astronaut theories. Well, we see now what had happened is we had lost Amazon Prime movies that were basically free movies to put up there and troll people with. Just absolute garbage. Bigfoot movies could go on Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime has cut all that back. That Prime there. So for a while there, we were having a problem getting content to do Bigfoot Entertainment Monthly, but then Tubi pops up and says, we'll take all your crap Bigfoot movies. So now there's a warehouse for them again. And, you know, so people will continue to make them.
Quite frankly, and even before Harry and the Hendersons, I think I guess you could say the only other great Bigfoot movie was that documentary movie, The Mysterious Monsters. That took home quite a bit of money at the box office. I think that was
that the one with the trench coat dude and the six wheel friggin' ATV shooting smoke 5 feet out the back of it?
No, that was different.
No, he was the one who thought he would talk about the Loch Ness Monster like it was an actual verified species.
Yeah, I thought it was. Oh, so it must have been the Robert Morgan one.
Day be proven like the Loch Ness Monster.
No, the one I'm talking about, the guy with the trench coat introduction and the ATV, the 6-wheeled ATV.
That was the one that was kind of put together. It was called Bigfoot Man or Beast or Man.
Yeah, Man or Beast. Yeah,
something like that, because it had one of the only recorded Albert Ostman interviews that was on camera.
Oh yeah, the black and white footage of that old fucker.
No, it wasn't black and white. It was in color. It's in color.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I'm trying to think of which one. Yeah, there's an interview in one of them that was in black and white. With the dude.
Well, it could have been that interview, but they did a colorizing process on it.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
it's in color.
I was going to say Albert Ostman's been dead since 48, 49. And
this documentary came out in 1972.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he was alive when they found that footage.
Yeah, it sounds like they might have colorized it.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know John Green was in it because they talked about the Ruby Creek incident where I went with.
I remember that. I'm
in it. DeHinden's in it. It's like one of the first ones where DeHinden's in there.
I've seen so many things now; they all just kind of run together.
Yeah.
Comes out as undigested crud. In my Bigfoot poo.
Teammates are here. I just want to say thank you to them for getting me this book for Christmas. I highly recommend it.
Freeman, Bigfoot Files.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. Now is that the one that and Jonathan was working on some things, and they asked him to not release it in lieu of this coming out, and I was just like, that's kind of cruddy, but whatever.
I mean, it's also like Michael Freeman, and then Jeff Meldrum wrote a chapter, Cliff Brackman wrote a chapter, Tom Powell wrote a chapter, Doug Hychek wrote a chapter, and
Tom Powell. I've met Tom Powell. Tom Powell. That guy is he's a handful. He's the author, right?
Yeah, he's one of the each one of these guys wrote a chapter.
Yeah, but I mean, he writes books, is what Tom Powell does.
Right.
Pretty sure he's the UFO Bigfoot guy.
One sensible man. Ancient construct theorists suggest.
That's right. Ancient Bigfoot theorists suggest that. That's us. We're the ancient Bigfoot theorists right here.
And what's really cool is in these books, they have these QR codes that you can scan.
Mm-hmm.
And what Michael Freeman did was actually go through his dad's, which would be Paul Freeman, his old cassette tape files.
Oh, God, did they clean them up any? Because some of those were just so freaking hard. There was just, you know.
So already, I'm kind of, with you, I kind of wanted to get your opinion, Jeff, because I don't know where you stand with Paul Freeman, but after reading already majority of this book, I emailed Danny Perez and Thomas Steenberg, and I'm like, I feel more damn confused now than I did before I read this damn book.
I don't think Freeman was trying to hoax anybody. I don't think Freeman didn't have any money to hoax.
No,
anybody.
he didn't.
So either somebody was hoaxing him, or it was legit. But I don't think. He wasn't capable. I don't want to insult the dead, but he doesn't seem to me like he was an Albert Einstein.
No, because he didn't graduate high school.
Well, that doesn't make you stupid. I'm just saying, he wasn't capable of Rick Dyer type friggin' shittery.
No, and the only thing that gets me, for one quick example here. So this track here is apparently from 1991. And, whoops, sorry. There we go. And it's almost the exact same track as what was found in the 1992 footage. But also I looked in the book and went, well, they're saying as well that this track was found in 1982 from his original sighting. And I'm thinking, how could one creature be tracked multiple times 10 years apart? Now, I can understand, like the Patterson, Patty was apparently found, casted and whatever. I think it was 3 or 4 years prior to it. That I can believe, but because it was in the same spot. But this, no.
Well, I don't.
Bigfoot was tracking him.
They have to migrate, Cameron. They're not creatures of habit. They are creatures of habit, probably much like a bear. Okay, so if they come in this area this year, they're probably going to come into this area next year, and they're going to come into this area 8 years later. They're probably still going to be coming into this area because it's a source of food for them. At the same time, they're going to migrate somewhere where the food isn't. It'd be very possible to pick up the same track on the opposite side of a mountain range, just depending upon when that track was left.
Right. No, but it's a really good book. I recommend people getting it. It's got a lot of stuff in here that was never released. I know Freeman got kind of raked through the coals by the, especially DeHinden and stuff like that. But I guess even Peter Byrne went on an expedition with him once. And I don't know, it's really changed my opinion on Freeman because it's like, well, maybe he didn't. Maybe he wasn't a hoaxer. Maybe he did find legit stuff.
I don't know that I would be recording over my kid's birthday party if it wasn't important. And if it was important and I'm poor and that's the only tape I have, then little Susie loses her birthday footage because I'm going to go out there and run that footage to get what I need to get.
Interesting thing, and I don't know if it was Star or Josh this the other day, that even though like where he filmed his famous footage, I always thought it was Deduck Springs, Washington, but it was actually Deduck Springs, Oregon. They were actually living in Washington, and he would drive to Deduck Springs from his home in Washington State, which was almost 2 hours. He would drive that almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, like you said, he wasn't the most richest man in the world. So
no.
Gas prices, you talk about equipment, like.
Well, that costume would have been thousands upon thousands of dollars. Dude didn't have enough money to buy a videotape. No. He certainly didn't have enough money to pay somebody to make a suit.
No, and the other thing too, and then because I wanted to really talk about this book, and I wanted an opinion on Freeman. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going to Todd Prescott's Sasquatch Archives YouTube channel. And on there, he's got I believe it's the 1987 Good Morning America interview. And they really did a bad job on Freeman and the people of Walla Walla.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Yeah, DeHinden's
Walla,
in
walla, walla.
there. Wes Summerlin's in there. And what they did, and this was even explained by Michael, I think I've listened to 3 podcasts now with him in there on certain podcasts. I've tried to message and get a hold of him to interview him myself, but he just hasn't replied back, and that's fine. But basically what Good Morning America did was you'll see a shot where he's talking to
When did you get back? I'm
the
sorry.
interview basically goes,
A while ago. You saw me come in.
tracks. And
Ask them. They saw me come in.
And then they kind of cut to
No,
another.
Dad, we snuck through the
They
window.
have this idiot named Michael Dennett, who's a skeptic. He's like, yeah, we know people have fake tracks, and they cut to Freeman again. What the problem was is when they cut to that scene is they didn't show Freeman explaining why he faked tracks. He faked tracks to see if he could figure out depth and stuff like that. They just made it sound like, yeah, he faked tracks. And then the next thing they show is him showing a piece of wood with claw marks on it. So it was a really bad job by Good Morning America. And you have to remember back then, Good Morning America was on that was national broadcast across the United States. So, and from then everybody's like, oh, okay, so he admitted he faked everything. Well, no, he didn't. So anyways, I recommend people get this book if they're really big into Sasquatch. It's a great book. And
It apparently doesn't clear anything up, but it's a good
no,
read.
it doesn't. No, but you know what? It's changed my opinion a little bit because before I was like, oh yeah, Freeman hoaxer, 100%. Now I'm like, maybe I was wrong. But but it's still very cool. So I want to thank my team for getting me that for Christmas because
Nice.
that was a very nice gift. So thank you guys.
I too got a book for Christmas. The 1967 edition of The Naked Ape, a zoologist study in the human animal.
Hey, I got a story about that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to bring. That's what I wanted to bring it up. The wife picked it up for me in an antique shop in somewhere or other. I don't exactly remember where.
I was working as a part-time page at the local library. This is the guy who puts the books back on the shelf. And I saw the book, and I was too young to be able to check the book out because it was adults only.
Because it talked about there's not even a single picture in the book, so it's not like there was a bunch of naked pictures or drawings of something in here. Literally, the knowledge was for adults only in 1967.
Yeah. But
That's
the
crazy.
librarian said, "Well, you act old enough. Go ahead, check the book out." So I read it back when it first came out. Yeah.
Well, and they were blasphemous ideas.
Oh, at the time,
I mean, it really talks about, the world's primates and us being one of them, and how, we probably didn't come from Adam and Eve. We probably came from Monkey and Mo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 1967, that's heresy, man. That gets you excommunicated from the Catholic Church in 1967.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been enjoying it. I like the fact that it does talk about the human animal in which it is. There are human behavior is studied in 2 ways: religious moral clause and the human animal. Religious moral clause says that you need to be monogamous and stay with one woman your entire life and raise that family, when the human animal for men is definitely not supposed to be monogamous at all. Men can make babies until they're 75. Women past 30 in that age, if they lived that long, they were done. So, just the comparison that humans were animals and not, divine beings in 1967 is a seriously strange concept to a lot of people who would have seen and read that book.
See.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's say hi to everybody in the chat room. Let's go do that. How's this work out? It's a story of a guy named G. Yeah, okay. Hey, there's Mr. Shane Barber tonight. Hello, Shane. Glad you are.
Shane.
That guy watches more content on this show. Josh was here. Josh failed because his mic.
Josh.
He couldn't hear anything. He couldn't say anything. So yeah,
Rip in the chat for Josh.
He was just joshing.
he was just joshing. There's Miss Bella Allegria. Hello.
Stop, he's already dead.
So glad you are here. And there are the Duncans, Mary and Aaron.
Hey, it's Aaron.
Hey, yeah, hey, I've seen that. Oh, hey, yeah, is Jamez here? Jamez, are you in the house? Oh man, don't even be fooling with me. Oh, those people run circles around me. Where the Sasquatch roam in Alabama, IA. Hello there.
Oh man, where do they roam?
They're roaming right here in Alabama, IA. Ken the Viking, there he is. Hello,
Oh, hi, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah, of course. Let's see who else is in the house. Grasshopper. Hello, Grasshopper. Oh, when you can take the pebble from my hand, you'll be ready. Oh, does that mean I'm ready? Yeah, I guess. It was more for me than it was for you. Let's see here.
You got a little on you, man.
Yeah, right down the.
You got all my beard.
Well,
Yeah.
look, if I got gin on your beard, then we really need to talk. But Donald Fuller's in the house. Hello, Mr. Fuller. Glad you're here with us. And there is David MF and Lee in the house. What up, David?
What up, man?
Lance Windsor, another great white northerner.
Man, the myth, the legend, the Lance.
Not white like in white supremacist. I'm not a white person, so I'm allowed to say that. Hosu Hadazar.
Josue.
Yes, man, I just want a phonetic on that one. How do you pronounce that?
Probably Josue. Josue?
Isn't that God? Oh no, that's Yahweh. No, that's
Yahweh.
Yahweh. That's the word.
Like
Dave Jackson in the house. What up, Dave Jackson?
Dave.
You know what's funny is there's a lurking command in the Twitch bot that's for lurking, and it literally says exactly that. Oh, that's weird. Howdy. Okay, so I think if I missed your name, I hope not, because there's Collier and Star.
Where's Collier?
Dean and Cameron. They're all here as well. So yay us. Super Dave Osborne. If you haven't seen Super Dave Osborne, you definitely need to YouTube that shit.
Dave Osborne, yeah, I remember.
Oh God, Super Dave Osborne. He was on a Showtime show that was like great. It was for like 17 and up, and of course I watched it anyhow. And it was so bad because he was a stunt man, and it never went well for him. He was like worse than Evel Knievel. Like his claim to fame was he had broke more bones than Evel Knievel ever thought of, and everything he ever did, he failed at. They fired him out of a cannon, and he goes head first into the wall. But when he lands, you can absolutely tell that it's not even a crash test dummy. It's just like they stuff some clothes with other clothes and launch it against the building. And, they cut, reset, throw this dummy against the building, and then, film it as if, and then he gets up and he's dusting this shit off, and shit he could never have lived through. And that's why it was, 17 and up, because stupid little kids like me would try to emulate it. Hey, look, I'm not going to say I didn't jump off the house wearing a cape holding an umbrella. I'm just saying, I should have been able to fly, damn it.
You would have been a great person for Jackass.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I invented Jackass in 1978. I just don't get any fucking credit for it, man. Me and my friends, hey, man, I dare you to run down this hill as fast as you can. We're talking like an 8% grade concrete road. Yeah, running face first down that bitch. Run as fast as you can until, of course, poof. Oh, there went a tooth and a nose all at the same time. Ass beating.
Guys, I got to get going soon, but only vaguely back on topic.
We were just talking about Bigfoot books.
I'm back on the Freeman footage, okay?
Okay, I like the Freeman footage.
Yeah, I think it looks legit to me. I think it's legitimate.
With the 1994 VCR, rerun tape.
It wasn't recorded in 1994. It was 1992. I made that same mistake in
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, for early 1990s technology, and a videotape that's been recorded on over and over and over again, it's pretty decent footage. I mean, you can make out a lot of detail. I never see the little one though. He's always like, "Oh, there goes another one." There are two of them. Yeah, I never see the little one.
It was Doug Hychek that really pointed that out.
Sad news, guys. I gotta go because my phone is dying.
I just wanted to ask you a question too before you took off.
You may ask your question.
Okay, how did you get into Are you like? How did you get into Sasquatch? Like, are you just kind of like an enthusiast, or do you actually research? Do you want to if you ever come out to Canada, I got a couple spots here in Alberta I could show you.
I'm down to go researching. Got into it because I remember my dad would always tell me as we were going on our family trip, he'd put me on his lap and be like, "Boy, I'm going to tie you to a tree and leave you for Bigfoot to get there."
I'll leave you a Sasquatch bait.
So sweet.
And from then on, I was traumatized by Bigfoot, and then I started researching Bigfoot to cope with the.
Fair enough. No, I was just wondering if you ever talked to any of the big names or anything
This is the most Bigfoot people I talk to. There's all the people in this video chat right now.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna cut out now.
All right, Mr. Dean. Thank you, sir. Dark Fuzzy Third.
Yeah, more often.
I absolutely agree. Let's do this more often. I love you, buddy.
Good night, all.
I'm down for a second.
Happy New Year. You want to shut up? I can't wait till tomorrow when her friggin' shot collar comes in. I got a shot collar from my Pomeranian. No shit. She don't listen. She don't listen.
I work with 60 barking dogs a day. I get it.
Fruity is a good dog as long as the Pomeranian doesn't set her off. When the Pomeranian sets her off, then she joins in. I got a 16-year-old Chihuahua. Okay, the oldest living dog in the world right now is 22, and he's a Chihuahua. Oh, where's my pizza at, yo?
Listen,
you ain't gonna pay the toll? What the freak, man?
So good, don't
it does, man. But it's Pizza Hut, and it'll give me the shit. So no, thank you. Love you, buddy. That's my son. I'm not used to having people in my house come through during podcasts. It's like, what? I'm okay. As long as they don't mind being on video, it's all good to me. Now I don't even when I Twitch stream, I stream my table in my hands. I don't even stream my face. It's never been about my voice. It's always been about my face. It's always been about the voice. Everybody wants to hear the stories. Story time, Reb. Tell us a story. So, and I can be a lot more confident on screen without having it in my face all the time. I mean, it's 10 years of this. That's 10 solid years of podcasting. I don't think there's
ever been a podcast that's gone longer than you.
Oh, I'm sure there's a podcast, but I don't know about a Bigfoot podcast.
That's what I'm saying. The Bigfoot podcast,
unstopped. That didn't stop and come back.
Yeah.
I've been on the air a solid 10 years.
Yeah.
For the first, 4 years, I had David with me. Was it season 6 that he left?
I first started was David.
Yeah.
Season
me too.
Season 6 is when David left us, and so the last 4 years I've been soloing this bad boy. Do you know how hard it is to do a solo podcast on the same subject?
Very hard.
30 to 40 weeks a year. And it's getting harder and harder for content. So I may have to start reaching out for some guests. I
could talk Sasquatch any day of the week for hours without.
That's the thing is, I need to evolve a little bit. I have reached my limit with reading the friggin' internet to the internet. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys, and I try to stay as interesting as I can. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more campfire stories next year. The Bigfoot camp. This isn't going anywhere. The Squatchers Lounge isn't going anywhere. If anything, I may rebroadcast it to Twitch in a different way. But the Twitch stream's going to run a lot more often. So if y'all want to hang out and it's got a chat just like this does, you can come stare at my table in my hands while I do card readings for people. By all means, listen to the music. There is a ton of royalty-free, like just chilling music on YouTube now. Just
Nice.
yeah, just load that on and talk about crystals and shoot. I made this. I made a charm, basically a jar charm the other day on Sunday. We're gonna be we're gonna do that like once a week. Love potions. You want the Rev to make you a love potion? Only I'm not the Rev there. I'm Jeffrey the Seer. But
Jeffrey the Seer.
Well, yeah. Can I really see the future? I'll tell you this: 4 to 5 times a week, I make a comment about something, and it happens.
That's manifesting.
That's more than just than whatever. I can't think right now. What's the word I'm looking for? When it just randomly happens.
Manifesting.
More than coincidence.
Manifest.
Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely more than coincidence. So it's just kind of there. Chris Wright, the Twitch channel name is Jeffrey the Seer .twitch.tv. SEER, just like it sounds.
Hey Jeff, do you subscribe to the Bigfoot Times or no?
No, I haven't. And I'll be honest with you. I've read them a few times. I've seen it. I don't do paper reading very well.
That's okay. Look. Wait, this way.
There it is. Nice.
That's us.
Yeah, look at that. That's Daniel Perez, right?
Right.
That wasn't what I was trying to do. I'm trying to do that. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Alberta Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. You guys should have thought about that RSMO shit before.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
No, that's
the dog is going to shit on the floor if I don't let her out real quick.
That's my fault. The name's my fault. It's not Josh or Star's fault. We were just trying to think of a name, and I'm like, well, we can't do Rocky. I'm like, let's just put Alberta in the front, and then it doesn't look as bad. So, because the problem is there's also the Alberta Sasquatch organization, and I do not want anything to do with them because those guys really did a number on me. So,
well, we got to figure out a way to differentiate you from them because Jesus Christ, if I got to hear one more time, oh, that goddamn fucking Rocky Mountain Sasquatch people, what the fuck was that kid's name? Kelly Shaw.
Oh. Yeah.
It's my fault. It's absolutely my fault that he's successful. Absolutely my fault because I brought them on. We had a big show about it. I built them up. I didn't realize how much of a turd base I was dealing with.
Oh, no.
I mean, the kid went to a hoax site and found evidence that the Bigfoot was real. And then the guy who filmed the Bigfoot posted another video of him in a foot suit with signs that said it was obviously not real. And, oh, God, I just, yeah. Sorry.
Well, if I ever think of a better name, we'll change it. But for now, I just put the Alberta in front of it and be like, okay, well, hopefully we can tell the difference.
So it's like the ADAA, the American Dodgeball Association of America. So it's the Alberta Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Association of Canada.
Yeah. No, it's just the Alberta Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team. So, well, I didn't because here's the thing: if it wasn't for Star, we wouldn't even have that because I said to Josh, I said, well, we can't really be a team with just 2 of us. We need 3 or 4. So thank goodness Star joined the team.
Well,
3 makes sense. 2 is just
no, it's not. Well, no, you can have 2 people on a team. I mean, look, adding Star is the perfect friggin' deal because she needs somebody that she can trust to be out in the friggin' field.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
I mean, well, look, it's like this. I don't want to see Cameron go out into the field on his own. I don't want to, I don't want to see anybody go out there by themselves. It's just dumb. I mean, I've done it for 15 years, went by myself, and I was in some situations several times that just dumb. I mean, just dumb shit, you know? I mean,
did you have better luck though by yourself with trying to get Sasquatch evidence? Or?
no, they come just as close if you're out there with a few people as they do when you're out there by yourself. The difference is there's nobody else there to experience it with you if you're out there by yourself.
True.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not a jumpy person. I don't hear things like when I'm at Bluff Creek. The creek runs right behind the camp there, and at night it echoes off of the rocks, and the rocks move around, and it literally sounds like people talking down there. When we first got Jonathan went one of the times with me, and he was like, "Yeah, man, somebody's having a quinceañera party around here somewhere," and I was just like, "No, that's the sirens of the creek down there talking to you, you know, beckoning you to come for a swim in the middle of the night so you can drown. Don't do it, because there's a great big the whole area back there is like knee deep, except for this one pool that drops down to like 11 feet." So literally, if you were just walking along the creek trying to find out where that sound was coming from, into that deep blue pool, you'd have sunk and then been freezing to death, and then, you know, go into shock, and Bigfoot will eat you. I'm sure that there are Bigfoot there.
Oh,
I've experienced two different things on two different trips. I've been there a bunch. Don't get me wrong. You know, I've camped there a bunch. But when we were there with Jonathan, and it was the whoop in the middle of the night on the second night out that just like something must have been just like lollygagging down the damn trail, not expecting anybody. Whoa, shit! You know, that's literally what it sounded like. It was like a whoop whoop, and then nothing. Silence. And we both sat there for like 45 minutes. He was in a tent. I was in the back of the Suburban, and we both heard the same thing. And now she's going to be pissed at me because she can't get back in, and it's raining outside.
Uh-oh. Poor puppy.
Come on. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're wet. All right. Don't be bugging me no more while I'm on the air. If you poop on the floor, I'm going to beat you.
God.
That's right. I got me a shock collar coming from my Pomeranian tomorrow. She's going to get it.
Yeah, no, I think the team we got is, you know, I don't think I want any more than 3 people. I even think 4 is pushing it because I really believe that less is more.
I like a 3-person team.
Like Patterson and Gimlin, like that's the perfect duo. Like they're the only ones that legit got anything.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true.
You know?
Bart Catino's got that thermal footage from the Sierras here, where the guys are in camp and they're up above camp with the thermal footage, looking down at the set of trees where at least 2 or 3 of them are walking around.
I'll have to look. Is that on YouTube or?
It is absolutely on YouTube. The SierraSiteProject.com. Okay. You can look at that. Yeah, no, and Phil Poling spent like 14 hours of analysis on that and couldn't find a reasonable explanation for it.
Legit tell it looks Sasquatch like, or is it
absolutely okay. You can tell that it is something without clothes. You can absolutely tell that it's something without clothes.
Is it better than Stacey Brown's footage?
Oh God, yes, far better than Stacey Brown's.
Because I've seen that and I'm like,
No, let me even check that that's even still up, because you know that's been 11 years now, and I don't know.
Because I've never seen it. Maybe I have seen it.
I'm sure you have seen it, but
well, basically, I think, you know, me, Star, and Josh. I think I'm really confident in us, and we all have the same kind of. I mean, we do have some differences, a little bit, I think, but I think most of us kind of, you know, we're all in conjunction that this ain't no alien UFO thing. This is just a legit, undiscovered, but we could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm, you know me and my opinion, and I definitely think it has nothing to do with UFOs or aliens, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. We'll discover one and be like, oh, well, all right.
No, I get you. I'm the same.
Yeah, but I'm really confident in our team, and I really think we're gonna put a big foot in the ground with all this. No pun intended. So
Yeah, I'll have to find the actual
find it.
FLIR
If you
footage.
find it, send it my way. Maybe I have seen it and I was just dumb not to really clue in on who took it. But
Yeah, not Sasquatch Chronicles. Oh God.
so would you say that it's like next to the Patterson film then?
Well, it's not film; it's thermal footage, so it's never going to define anything. But in the same token, what is that now? All right, let's turn that off. There we go. Yeah, it's never going to define anything because it's not film, and it is video, but it's video of a FLIR camera, and the FLIR camera was, back in the days when their pixels were like 268 by like 450,
Right.
so when you blow that up, when you blow that type of thing up, it'll get grainy. But if you look at it for what it is, the situation that unfolds in that footage most definitely is not a hoax, and whoever's walking around in the tree line doesn't have clothes on.
Right.
In the reenactment that they did, you can see that the people walking around absolutely had clothes on.
What do they call the footage again? Sorry, Jeff.
It was the Sierra Site Project.
I'll have to refresh my memory as well.
That was the same location as where Justin Smeha had his encounter. And
Oh yeah?
yeah.
Okay.
So that might be a thing. Yeah, no, the internet doesn't even know that was a thing anymore, which is sad. Yeah, I didn't spell that right at all.
Well, if somebody out there finds it,
Yeah, I'll look for it. I'll dig it up. It's here
I'm
somewhere.
usually pretty good at digging things up, but this one I might have a little bit more trouble with. Oh God, you'd get a kick out of this, Jeff. So on Todd Prescott's Sasquatch Archives channel, I think a few days ago, he posted an old news clip from when Dr. Matthew Johnson had his first initial sighting on TV. Oh God, that was funny. Some of the comments on that. I think even Steven Strufoot even commented, you should take the name Doctor out of the title.
The Dark Lord of Bigfoot has spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like a Sith of the Bigfoot world. He's a very sad person as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't wish the guy any ill will. I don't hold any hate for the guy, but he and I have not seen eye to eye ever.
Oh
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Like friggin' ever.
Challenge Matthew Johnson to come on the show one time and tell us
I will interview Matthew Johnson any day of the week on any show, even something that he has. I would love to have a conversation with him.
right.
An open conversation. There can't be any holdbacks. There can't be I ain't giving you my questions ahead of time. Ain't nothing. I know you got a closed brain injury. It's okay. I'm going to bring that out of you and show people that you may see cloaked Bigfoot. I absolutely don't know at all that a man with a brain injury thinks that he sees cloaked Bigfoot, and I'm going to heal your crotch Bigfoot and flying marbles. Oh, you haven't heard about I'm going to heal you. Oh my God. Yeah. Apparently he had some kind of a clot or something in his inner thigh, and the invisible marble Bigfoot floated in his room and rubbed his leg and cured his incurable, horrible clot in his right leg, so that he's now, clot free and able to go out and walk around. But I'm still waiting for him to say, and I'll get them to heal you too for just $39.95. I'm waiting for it. I'm absolutely waiting for it. The magical Bigfoot hand job. That's exactly right. I'm waiting for him to tell us that he is the Bigfoot Messiah, like Laprosite.
Oh God, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's still around.
Yeah.
Absolutely still around. The crazy shit that some people say, do, and get away with for as long as they get away with it is just.
So I guess so another I was listening to Bigfoot and Beyond a couple of weeks ago because I listened to it while I work out, and I always send Star and Josh a copy of the one I listen to. And they were talking to Henry Franzoni, and I really woke up when I heard, because when I saw him, he was on like legit like Sasquatch documentaries, and I took him quite seriously. And then he started talking about his actual thoughts on Sasquatch, and I was like, what? He's a woo? And I'm like, okay, well, I just totally.
I look. I don't have a problem with people who chase the woo. I mean, I don't. I sit here and talk to spirit guides through cards. Okay, so I get it. Everybody's got their strangeness to it. That's fine.
Because I didn't know.
Right. And but it isn't my problem. Isn't Matthew Johnson per se. My problem is the people who support and sycophant. You know, and I don't know if you know what a sycophant is, but basically
is that like
just
going all fanboy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like ultimate fanboy. Like no matter the Emperor's New Clothes, they're so afraid that he's going to look badly upon them for telling them that there's no invisible Bigfoot that they just go along. Oh yeah, we saw it too. That whole portal thing in the woods with a Tesla device and 25,000 Bigfoot, no video, and then they miraculously turn into light and then into trees. Only one died, but he was happy to be here because their planet was going to be destroyed. And he wasn't. I mean, the shitstorm of a book this could make.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as like a follower of it, like who was it? It was that Green guy, not Mike Green, not the other Green. Mike Green wrote that book, Sasquatch for Sale, and just got into a bunch of crazy fucking conspiracy shit with all the. I'm like you, more confused after reading it than I was getting into the middle of it. It was just like a shitstorm of misspellings and mumbled jumbled of stories that made absolutely no sense. And the only one that was really trying to make any money on Bigfoot in his book, Bigfoot for Sale, was him. Trying to sell Bigfoot for sale. I just saying that's how.
Well, no, you're right, and that's the thing. Like I was again, I referenced this channel because it's so good. Todd Prescott posted an old video of DeHinden just going berserk with Dr. Henner Fehrenbach, and DeHinden said a really interesting point, and it makes sense. Back in 1995 when he said it, it makes even more sense now. You have to question everybody's agenda in this.
Yeah, what's your motive? What's your motive? What's your end game? You know, with me, if I come out of the woods with, you know, a Bigfoot hand, my agenda is to have, you know, $250 million be with us. That's what a B. $250 million put in a bank account in the Cayman Islands and give me an access number to that son bitch, and I'll tell you where the rest of the body is.
Yeah, like for me, it's like I am old school. I want to find one. I want to photograph one. If we're out in the woods and we find it, I want to prove there is a Sasquatch.
I'll help kill one. I mean, I'll straight up put a bullet in one. I will straight up hunt one and kill it and bring it to the world and put it on the table and do like Krantz said. We're going to have to drag that son bitch from city to city and let all the scientists put their hands on it and touch it before they're even going to believe that it's real.
That's right.
But in the grand scheme of things, that's worth $10 billion just in media.
Yep.
Just in media rights, that's worth $10 billion. Now, I'm not even saying that a Bigfoot's never been shot and taken, because there are underground hunting groups that will pretty much hunt everything from Pomeranians to friggin' snow leopards, you know, kill them and then stuff them and put them in their den because they live in Zimbabwe and ain't nobody going to Zimbabwe to fuck with them. You know, so anybody who's got a bead on how to tell where the Bigfoot are, they ain't coming forward, because that's like knowing where to sell a black bear's gallbladder for $10,000, because that's the bullshit that they keep telling me. Oh, you people poach them black bears because you get $10,000 for their gallbladder. Some bitch, I have killed 40 black bears in my 50 years, And I got news for you. I ain't never gotten 10 grand for a gallbladder from anybody. So if y'all got the address to where I send that thing to me, and they can send me the 10,000, I'll take gold. I'll take 8 grand in gold, and y'all can just send it my way. I'll get all my friends to get you them gallbladders too, because they need the money. They like money. We'll all take 8,000 with gold versus 10,000 in cash. No problem. You want to give it to me in silver, all the better. I'll take like 7,500 in silver, because that's just going to outperform gold in no time. Yes, Adam Davies was not, well. Adam Davies was kind of there for the portal event. He was there for the opening of the portal, and he did battle with some kind of 3-foot tall, fuzzy, glowy-eyed demon thing, portal defenders. For 3 nights, they did battle with these things, and it's like when they made them say it on camera, like the next day in the at the Waffle House friggin' parking lot or whatever the hell it was. You can see how angry he was about it. He didn't want to be on camera, admitting to shit. I had a personal conversation with the man, and I was just like, "Look, dude, you got to tell me, like, straight up, what's going on?" And portals, really? He's like, "Oh, I can't really get into it now, and I'm not going to talk about it in public. But yeah, man, for 3 nights we did battle with these little 3-foot demon things."
That was Adam Davies saying that.
Yes, the adventurer. Yeah, that guy. Hey, Adam Davies is a badass, okay? Because he came to a place where we told him there were Bigfoot, and one of them was shot, and the rest of the family was pissed off. And homeboy still posted up with somebody who didn't know how to defend themselves overnight by himself away from our camp. He's a badass. Crazy, possibly crazy in the head, but he's a badass. I give him all the credit. Been to Nepal, been to places my ass would never freaking go to, doing shit that I don't even think about. He's a badass. He's an adventurer. He really is an amazing man. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying I want to know the truth about this bullshit, because it came out in his book. But yet when you talk to him in public, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Right.
You ask him about it when he's at these conferences, and he's like, "Oh, well, you can read about it in my book." Doesn't really do anything. I want to go to one of these conferences with Jeff Meldrum. Okay? But Jeff Meldrum won't accept an invitation to any conference where I've been asked to speak. Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the stage with me.
So I said to Josh last week, I guess Meldrum's doing like an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, I'm sure, man. Anything you can do to make money.
I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to be on that just to talk to both of them.
I want to pull a Dehinden on his ass. Or actually, I want to pull a Jeff Meldrum on his ass. And there is an old video of Dehinden giving a talk where Jeff Meldrum's sitting in the front row,
he's going after
where Dr. Trance had already passed away. And Jeff Meldrum was interrupting Dehinden when he was just...
No. I know what you're talking about. No, Krantz just wasn't at that symposium. That's
all right. Whatever the case may be, he wasn't there to say anything.
Right.
And Dehinden was kind of shit mouth and shit talking, but he shit talked to everybody. It wasn't it was like you would feel bad if he didn't shit talk about you. I mean, it's the truth of it. And Jeff Meldrum just like blurts out like, "Well, you can't be talking about him because he's not here to defend himself, and it's Dr. Prince to you if you don't understand that." And I'm like, man, I want to certainly sit up front in one of these Jeff Meldrum freaking interviews. Boy, it'd be like, excuse me, can you tell me whether you like the Todd Standing videos and why?
Yeah. And here's another tidbit. So when I interviewed Meldrum a year ago, he told me and this was the day before he went after Dehinden. This was Danny Perez took Meldrum to meet Dehinden at his trailer in where he lived, and he had all these footprints from Freeman on the picnic table. And Dehinden was saying, "Look at this crap, and look at the Freeman, the flicking idiot." And Dr. Meldrum walks up to Dehinden and flips the footprints in the proper direction, and Dehinden has a hissy fit and throws everything off the picnic table and basically tells Meldrum to F off.
Look, if you want advice on the Bigfoot's feet and its locomotion, and tracks that you found, by all means, see Dr. Meldrum, the footman.
Yeah.
You know, the locomotive man, the anthropologist. I get it. He has a specialty.
Yeah.
But if you need like decisions on whether a video is real or not, don't ask him, because he doesn't seem to be able to make a call. Well, I haven't really studied his videos long enough to make any kind of decision on it.
There's nothing to
Bullshit.
study. You can easily tell that that's
You
fake.
can't tell that non-blinky is a stuffed animal with dead bear eyes and a cleft lip repair. Then I want to know who does Bigfoot surgery.
Yeah.
Like straight up, who's their plastic surgery in the Bigfoot world? Because non-blinky absolutely has had plastic surgery to repair that cleft lip of his.
Right.
It's flocked. It's literally like a flocked Muppet.
Yes. Oh, I know. We did a whole show on it. I remember.
And
I agree. It's just like, and I don't get it either, because it's like, okay, so wait a minute. You actually believe this shit? Like,
no, he doesn't. But he doesn't want to tell you that, because it might limit money going into his pocket being asked to go on a show to talk about that stuff. That's it. It's about the money. The man's for sale. And he likes to keep his options open. See,
he won't go to a conference with you there.
No.
Why?
Well, I mean, if I have a ticket to get in, he wouldn't know. But if I was invited, I've been replaced because he's come on board for stuff. I was replaced by Stacy Brown Jr. for a conference because Meldrum decided at the last minute he was going to go.
Why would Meldrum do that to you? I'm very.
Oh he and I have a very open feud going on. He doesn't like me, and I don't like him. See, you know, he might believe in Bigfoot, but he also believes in magic underwear. Because if you didn't know, he's a Mormon.
Right.
Okay. And that whole weird ritualistic thing about being your own god of your own planet when you die is kind of a strange thing for a doctor to believe in.
Okay.
And when I asked him about that, he kind of got offended that I would even bring his religion into academic interest. And it was just like, I'm not your boss. I'm just a guy who's asking you some honest questions, and you don't like that. Okay. It's like David Pilates. It was the same thing. And I have an open feud with him.
And okay, so Star and Josh, if you're still watching, if we go down to meet Dr. Jeff Meldrum, no offense to Jeff, but let's not bring up Jeff.
Yeah, you don't want to mention the old Rev. No, they'll have you see the door.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind. I am like the black sheep of Bigfoot.
Now, and here's what I don't get either. Why does David Pilates always get invited to these Sasquatch Bigfoot conferences when he has stated he doesn't believe that Sasquatch is even the culprit of taking these people?
Because he writes the books as if they are.
That's true. Yeah.
So even though he's just going to set the record straight every conference he gets. Well, I'm not even saying that Bigfoot's doing this, but you know, if y'all are going to keep paying me to come to these conferences and I can sell my shit at the table, God damn it, I'm going to keep going.
See, and that's what drives me nuts. Is like I sometimes think there's too many of these conferences.
Well, I don't. I think there should be more. I absolutely.
There hasn't been one in Canada for years.
Well, COVID and all. Canada has.
It was even before COVID. The last one I saw was in like bloody Grand Prairie, Alberta, in like 2017, 2018.
Last I saw, Canada was still closed.
No.
Like seriously, no. If I want to come to Canada right now, if I want to drive to Canada, I'm in Northern California. It would take me like 14 and a half hours to drive up there, and I'd be at the Canadian border. I would have to give them the information of where I'm staying for my 7-day quarantine. And they will call you every day to make sure that you're in whatever that location was for 7 days. Yeah. For anybody who's not a Canadian, America still requires you to have a friggin' negative COVID test to get back into the country if you've left the country to certain places. Like if you get off the plane from China, they're like sticking a wand in your mouth on the way out the fucking bus, man. They're making sure that you. Oh yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, you. Hey, would you mind waiting over here, sir, for the next 2 hours while we get through these? Yeah, thank you. Just sorry, we lost your luggage. Just pretend you're waiting for your luggage or something.
So let me get this straight. If me and Star and Josh wanted to make a trip down to Meldrum, Idaho State University, we would have to have some sort of proof about COVID.
Oh yeah, you'd have to have a negative COVID test. You'd have to take a test. You can get them over the counter. I mean, it's no big deal now.
So what the hell?
You just spit in the wand. You just spit in the wand and read it as a negative, and then you just bring it with you. I don't know.
Interesting.
I had to do it before I went into the hospital for my last surgery. I had to have a negative test within 48 hours of my surgery.
I was actually surprised I didn't have to have a COVID test coming back from Europe.
Well, yeah, it depends on where in Europe. I mean,
Oh God, please don't let it be COVID.
Well, they got other stuff in Europe like polio and smallpox and stuff they don't have here. So, but let's worry about the flu.
I thought the was like, oh yeah, we're all good, open for business. Come on in. Wow.
Well, I was up there with David up there in Bellingham, Washington, and we drove up out of town to check out his research area, and literally Canada was like right up there. It was a nasty walk, but it was like right there. There was no fence. There was no guard shack. Like I said, we drove 45 minutes into this park to get to this area, but absolutely, he could have left me out the car and drove back out, and nobody would have been the wiser. I could be an illegal immigrant in Canada. How do I get services as an illegal immigrant in Canada? Do I immediately get $27,000 a place to stay and food stamps and free healthcare? Does that happen? Because it happens here. I'm not even joking about that. Bigfoot. Absolute Bigfoot. See, I know I can't find anything.
All it says on the Canada said is as of January 5th, all air travelers 2 years of age and older arriving from People's Republic of China, Hong Kong, or Morocco must show a negative test.
What's up with Morocco? What you got against Morocco? Man, I like Morocco. That's a bitchin' place, man. It's on the African coast.
Weird.
Isn't that where Casablanca?
All right, I gotta leave, guys. But
all right, yeah, we're gonna wrap this up anyhow. Yeah. But Happy New Year to you, sweetie, and thank you for
coming. You
too. Proof of COVID-19 vaccination is not required.
Well, there you go.
COVID-19 pre-entry arrival tests are not required. Quarantine after you enter Canada is not required.
Wow, they stopped all that shit this year.
Using arrived Canada is not required.
Yeah,
tests for cruise passengers not required.
Wow, they just want to bring all the COVID in now. They're just like, fuck it. Everybody can have COVID.
I was like, no, we can just go right across the border. We don't need anything.
Yeah, you got to get one of those real IDs to be able to go back and forth across the border here. My California ID isn't for shit anymore. All right, well, you know what? We've gone way past the board, but I appreciate you stepping in, hanging out with us tonight. The year wrap up. Like I said, I'm probably going to have more guests on this year, do some more, maybe contemplating about what Bigfoot has been or what's going to be. It's just so difficult. Come March, when I start getting out into the field again, I'll have a whole lot more to talk about. But in the meantime, keep tuning in because we're still going to be doing this every Wednesday night.
Is out and about more, Jeff. We'd love to come on and talk about our actual adventures rather than just saying, here's what we plan on doing.
Whenever you guys get back, you're welcome to come on and we'll hang out. And Josh has got to get that phone fixed. He needs a pair of headphones.
He has an old iPhone.
Yeah, he just needs to get a headset and it'll be fine. Yeah. But whatever his head port, an old iPhone, Jesus, how old?
He has an iPhone 8, I think.
Okay, well, for like $40, you can go buy a stolen phone that'll work on Wi-Fi.
I suggest you read Canada's poor telecommunication plans, and now we get gouged out here.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. We have one place to select, and that's it. We don't have any competition, so it's a monopoly. All right, gang, I love you. I mean it so very much. Come back and see us again. That's right, the Supranational Rocky Mountain Alberta Sasquatch Consortium or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure out something else. And with that, everybody, thanks for the new year.
Club.
Until then, may the Squatch be with you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.